Today on the newscast from Jerusalem, a key member of Vladimir Putin's inner circle warns Israel not to arm Ukraine. Plus, is Iran preparing to send ballistic missiles to the Russian military? Get all the breaking details next. Hey folks, Erick Stakelbeck here. Welcome to the Watchman Newscast and welcome to Jerusalem. Night has fallen here in God's holy city. I just arrived today, Monday, October 17th. I will be here over the next few days filming some brand new Watchman productions, both for the Watchman TV show on TBN and also for the Watchman Newscast right here on YouTube. By the way, before we even get into it, I just want to encourage you to subscribe to the newscast right here on YouTube and click notification bells so you get alerts every time a new video is posted. Hey, we may even come to you from Jerusalem like we are tonight. Who knows? But you might hear some background noise right now. Jerusalem is always bustling, and there's even near where I'm staying here some worship music going on, which was pretty cool. A good way to greet me as I came in the door to hear that, the sounds of worship to God Almighty in his city. So stay tuned here the next few days. We will have newscasts from on the ground in the land of Israel. Got some great stuff planned. I don't want to give too much away. Stay tuned here all this week. You're going to like what you're going to see. Hey, in the meantime, I've got an update for you here from Jerusalem. Big news on the Russia-Israel front, in my view. Number one, Dmitry Medvedev. Now, he was the former Russian president. He is a close confidant of Vladimir Putin. He is in Putin's inner circle. He is very involved on defense issues, very vocal on Russian security issues, and he's very active on Telegram. He's got his own Telegram channel. Well, today on Telegram, he essentially, I called it a warning in the open. Could you even say it's a threat? He said that it looks like Israel is going to arm Ukraine. That's Medvedev's words. Now, we don't know that, by the way, that Israel is looking to arm Ukraine. Obviously, Israel has tried to take a middle road here. More on that in a minute between Russia and Ukraine. But here's what Medvedev said. It looks like Israel is going to arm Ukraine. And if they do that, it will, quote, destroy relations between Russia and Israel. Any diplomatic relations, Medvedev said, would be, quote, destroyed if Israel arms Ukraine. Now, folks, this is not a statement to be taken lightly from a member, again, of Vladimir Putin's inner circle, laying down the gauntlet to Israel. Now, Yair Lapid, the interim Israeli prime minister, and remember, they'll have elections here in Israel on November 1st. He may not be prime minister for very long, but in the meantime, while he is prime minister, he has come out much more vocally against Russia than his predecessor, Naftali Bennett, did. Lapid last week condemned that massive Russian missile barrage. It was actually 1 week ago today, last Monday, that barrage of some 84 ballistic missiles and a number of Iranian suicide kamikaze drones. More on them in a minute. We've got an update there as well, that slammed into various Ukrainian cities. In a first, Lapid actually released a statement condemning Russia. Russia did not like this very much, and now there's been some calls by some members of the Israeli political class that Israel should arm Ukraine against Russia. Now, remember, Israel has walked that fine line since February 2022 when Russia invaded, where they haven't come out, other than Lapid, they haven't slammed Russia too much. They've tried to maintain good relations with Ukraine as well, and neither Russia or Ukraine seem very pleased with the stance Israel has taken. For Israel, they're saying, look, we're with you, Ukraine, clearly, but their main concern is maintaining a relationship with Russia so that Israel can maintain operations in Syria. Remember, thousands of Russian troops sit at Israel's northern doorstep in Syria. Israel wants to continue to have freedom of movement to strike Iran and Hezbollah in Syria. Remember, Iran and Hezbollah, Russia's close allies, and Russia is there. And these Israeli airstrikes, hundreds of them over the past few years, have happened under Russia's noses. Israel can't afford to have that end. So the thinking has been, well, we want to stay on Russia's good side, essentially, and not come out too forcefully against them over Ukraine. That had been the attack that Israel was taking. But it seems like Yair Lapid, just adjusting this phone, guys, sorry. It seems like Yair Lapid wants to go in a different direction, and now Medvedev is laying down the gauntlet there. Folks, this bears very close watching in the days to come. What we have shaping up in Ukraine is essentially a proxy war. Now, if Israel starts getting involved and arming Ukraine, openly arming Ukraine, that will be a big deal. Look, Ukraine has asked for Iron Dome. It has asked for Israel's missile defense systems. Now, that would be a major, major deal. In the meantime, Israel is reportedly supplying intel to Ukraine over these Iranian drones. The kamikaze drones, they're packed with explosives. They're flown into a target by Russian forces. Iran has reportedly supplied hundreds, if not thousands, of these kamikaze drones to Russia for use against Ukraine. And folks, they're called the Shahed 136 drone. Again, they're unmanned, they're packed with explosives, and they are flown into a target with lethal effect. We saw it today as I arrived here in Israel. I read the headlines today, Monday, October 17th, that several of these Shahed 136 Iranian drones slammed into the Ukrainian capital, Kyiv. At least 4 people were killed by these Iranian drones. So number one, Iran is using those drones. Well, Russia is using those Iranian drones to great effect. We've had Russian soldiers training on how to use those drones as well. As I switch hands here, give my right arm a rest. But we've had Russian soldiers training in Iran on how to use the drones. And also now we have reports that Iran may supply Russia with ballistic missiles. You might say, why is that? Russia has a powerful military, even though Russia has obviously taken its lumps in Ukraine over the past 8 months. Well, Russia needs to replenish its arsenal, folks. They've expended a lot of their forces, a lot of their military hardware in Ukraine, and they're looking now to Iran and, yes, reportedly North Korea to help replenish their stockpiles. And that means, reportedly, Iranian ballistic missiles. I mentioned a minute ago, proxy war. So will we have Israel arming Ukraine and Iran arming Russia? The Israel-Iran proxy war is going to go from the battlefields of the Middle East into Europe now and broaden even more potentially. Again, I don't know that Israel will arm Ukraine. That would be a huge step for Israel, and it would clearly have repercussions for Israel's relationship with Russia. I don't know that they're going to go there, at least openly, perhaps covertly. But Iran, hey, folks, they're all in. They totally support the Russian campaign in Ukraine, and they are openly, although an Iranian official tried to deny it over the weekend, folks, it doesn't take a brain surgeon to see these Iranian-made drones are being used all over Ukraine now, including that assault today on Kyiv. So Iran has no hesitation at all about throwing its hat in the ring and taking part in this campaign in Ukraine. And Iran is usually using the proxies, whether it's Hamas, Hezbollah, Islamic Jihad, the Houthis in Yemen. Now Iran is the proxy. You could say they're a Russian proxy in Ukraine. So, folks, very interesting times, and keep an eye on this. The situation in Ukraine, I'm sad to say, is only going to get worse, no doubt, and I believe it's going to escalate in many ways. We've discussed it on previous newscasts, so we're watching this very closely. It's a chilly night here in Jerusalem, but man, what a night, what a time to be in God's one and only holy city, the ancient and eternal capital of the land of Israel, the nation of Israel. We'll be coming to you again all this week from points beyond Jerusalem, and some other places here in the land. Keep us in your prayers. We'd really appreciate that. Pray for the peace of Jerusalem. You are biblically mandated to do so. Those are your marching orders, and pray for that situation in Ukraine. Folks, a lot to pray about, no doubt. And the great thing is, prayer works. And they say here in Jerusalem, it's a local call. So thanks for joining us here from Jerusalem today. Until tomorrow, God bless you. And remember, never hold your peace. Hey everyone, thanks for checking out the Watchman Newscast. If you enjoyed this episode and want to see more, make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, click subscribe, and tap the bell icon to turn on notifications for new Watchman Newscast episodes every weekday.